So, another question, and I know a lot of folks are thinking this about making this move, is like, you know, your Spanish. How is your Spanish, and can you survive here without knowing Spanish?
Every time somebody asks me that, I say I'm 40%. I don't know where I get that from, but I'm just gonna stick with it. I'm about 40%. Because it doesn't sound like I know a lot, but it doesn't sound like I know that a little either. So I'll say 40%. I think you can make it here without Spanish, but you can't make it here without Spanish, meaning that
You need to know something.
you're gonna need or know somebody that knows something. So you can make it here, but you can't survive totally without somebody speaking the language for you. So you yourself, if you don't know the language, then of course you're gonna need somebody to. There's certain processes and things that you're gonna encounter on your, throughout your journey here that you're gonna need somebody. Like, I mean, when you go to the grocery store, you don't need it.
So, do you have because this is what happened to me, my little cousins in Panama,
Right.
they speak Spanish, and at that time I didn't speak nothing, and they would get mad at me when I say, come over here and translate for me.
Right.
I know you probably have that experience with your daughter. Is she fluent? She's
Yeah,
fluent?
my daughter is.
So you ask her to do some translating services for you every now and then?
Yes. yes. My daughter does help me when we're out. She helps me, and my wife does too.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay. So we're gonna
Do you plan on becoming fluent?
Yeah. That didn't sound convincing, did it? I do.
The thing is, you made the same face on YouTube when you just asked that question.
Yeah.
You always do this little,
Because it's I still, my job requires me to continue to communicate in English. So it's kind of difficult for me to switch over after all day I'm talking in English and this and that, then come back and then start talking in Spanish. But I keep saying that I'm gonna do it.
I just want to make sure I'm not alone in this.
No, you're not alone.
All right.
It's a lot of people, actually there's a lot of expats here that don't speak English. I mean, don't speak Spanish. And they get by pretty fine. But most of them, a lot of them stay in tourist areas too. So if you're in a tourist area, you really don't have to really learn it. But I wouldn't advise anyone to not learn the language. I think you need to know something to be able to get by.